Hi, my name is Kara Smith, and today I'll be talking about the online discussion about the Constitution. Um, the Article 1, the three things that I did learn was that the first one was Congress was made up of the Senate and the House of Representatives. The second one was the vice president have little role when it comes to being part of the Senate. Even though he is known as being the president of the Senate, he barely have little role in the government, especially like during debates and votes and so forth. The third thing I learned was that the Senate have to be at least 30 years old and had to have been a citizen in the United States for 9 years. I found that interesting, being that the representative have to be 25 years old and have to be a citizen for 7 years. So those were the three things that I found interesting about, that I actually learned about Article 1 when discussing Congress. Now, in Article 2, what I found to be very worth sharing was the fact that, for one, when learning about the president, I didn't know that he was the commander-in-chief of the Army and the Navy. I didn't know that the president can make treaties, and I also didn't know that the president cannot pardon impeachment, even though he can pardon other crimes. Now, I found that all three of those was interesting, being that the president is the commander in chief of the Army and the Navy, but he cannot declare war. I thought that was pretty interesting. I remember learning that in high school as well. And then for the last, for C, what I found interesting was actually in Article 3, Section 3, and the first paragraph was basically stating that the person who are being held for treason, in order for that to be carried out, it have to have 2 eyewitnesses that overact the situation, meaning that he have to prepare for he have to show in court the preparations and everything that the person being held for that crime was committing. And then also in Section 3, in the second paragraph, I found interesting to know that when you are, the highest thing that you can get when you do get sentenced is you can actually be sentenced to death by treason. And I thought that that was very interesting. But the descendants cannot be held accountable for, if their father, whatever, was committed treason after their father do the crime and the time, or whatever the case, whatever the punishment is that Congress wants, that the child cannot be held accountable, or descendants or anything like that. So this discussion was very fun, and this is what I basically learned about the articles that we had to review and what I found interesting about it.